If you could instill one money lesson into everybody around the world right now, what would that be?
Stop putting your money into a bank. All the bank does is takes your money and goes invest it in the stock market. They love when people think that it's so secure to keep your money in a savings account when you're making less than a half a point of interest on that. The bank says, thank you for the free money, and now we're gonna go invest this in the stock market. So like, you should have very little in a bank. You should be putting it into the stock market, whether it's index funds. Again, if you don't know what that means, just please read and educate yourself, because everybody can learn this stuff and you have a much wealthy future in front of you.
And you know they don't teach that in school, right?
I know, yeah. And listen, capitalism doesn't work without a bottom.
Wow, that's a real game right there.
Yeah. Do you want to be in the bottom? I don't want to be in the bottom.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. So give me another lesson that the wealthy people do differently from everybody else. Like what separates rich from wealthy?
I mean, listen, I feel like at this point, like last week, for example, was a crazy week in the market. You know, since April 7th, when my account was at my low, I don't mind sharing like what my account was. My account was like at $49 million April 7th. My account is now back up to $64 million in public equities alone. And that's because the market is going to work its way back up. And so sometimes I look at my account and I'll be like, I just made like $1.2 million today. And I played volleyball most of the day. Like when your money makes money for you, like it wants to compound, it wants to procreate. And even like the best text when I get from my nephew of like, I made $2,400 in the market today. Like that takes them 2 weeks to make that if they're lucky at their age. So it's realizing that you have to stack your assets and you need to just let them continue to compound. And I feel like I'm cheating. One of my values is generosity. Like when I have a great month, like I'm giving away money, I'm making donations, I'm taking my friends places. And I think most importantly, I'm also just trying to educate as many of my friends as possible that like, I shouldn't have to pay for everything. You should learn this game also. And it doesn't matter if you're starting with $10,000, $1,000, you got to start somewhere. And that's whether, losing weight, getting in shape, like everybody has to have a day one.
Are you a good negotiator?
Yes, I'm a very good negotiator.
Give me your best negotiation advice as a $100 million entrepreneur.
One, you have to read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I mentioned that on the last one, right? But you have to make people like you. And you make people like you for a few reasons. One, you say your name over and over again. I'm going to give you great eye contact. I'm going to make some jokes and I'm going to make you really excited about backing me. Because again, I'm not like trying to get one by you. I believe in myself more than anybody. And it's my job to make you see that. So if you're a landlord and I'm trying to get you to say like, hey, let me like have first 6 months of free rent, even though I've only been around business for, a year, I would talk about my experience on Back on My Feet. I would get you to come try a workout. Again, I wanted to meet you in person so that you could look me in the eye and you could see my passion. So it's really getting someone to like you and believe in you, and that comes with a lot of confidence. So I would just walk into any one of these meetings and be able to articulate my vision and what I was doing and why I was the right person to do it.
And your last message to the younger generation, how can somebody become wealthy in today's world? How can somebody get FU money in today's world? What does it take?
You got to be an entrepreneur. So I'm going to say it again. You have to figure out what your special thing is that you know how to do better than like 95% of the population, right? And then you've got to figure out, how do I apply that to a business that needs these skill sets and talents in order for it to be successful? And lastly, I do think you need to be super passionate about whatever that business is, because there are days that get long and boring, but like if you're excited about what you're building, you're not going to want to quit, and you have to enjoy the process. It's not just about, like I said, James, that day when I got that wire, that was exciting, but what made it all worth it is I felt like I made my money with pride and with integrity, and I loved like the whole journey. It was really rewarding.
You got amazing advice.